Shaman Chocolates is the vision of Brant Secunda, a native New Yorker who found himself living among the Huichol Indians of the Sierra Madre in Mexico, who unwittingly became the keeper of the tradition. The Huichol are thought to be the last remaining pre-Columbian indigenous tribe, living as they have for hundreds, perhaps even thousands of years. Among the offerings of the earth they most treasure is chocolate, which is believed to offer a bond between the earth and the gods, passing through mankind's hearts in the process. Today, Shaman Chocolates is preserving a way of life for these peaceful, artistic, and good-natured people through the donation of 100% of the profits of the company.
So Don Jose was your mentor in life and passed the knowledge of the shaman ways of the Huichols on to you. Can you talk about your journey and how you became involved with Don Jose?
Well, I was originally from New York and New Jersey, and then the day after my 18th birthday I left. I graduated high school, and then I just felt I had to go. And so I left New Jersey and I went to Mexico, and I wound up in the town of Ixtlan, which has now been made famous by the Don Juan books written by Carlos Castaneda. And so I wound up in Ixtlan, and I was befriended by a Huichol Indian school teacher who the government had trained to go up in the mountains and teach the Huichols Spanish and basic reading and writing. So after being with him in Ixtlan, he said he would write me a letter of recommendation which would serve as a passport to go through the Huichol Sierra, it's called, in the Sierra Madre.
And this is in the Sierra Madre in Mexico,
Sierra Madre Mountains.
Yes.
And you're not allowed, outsiders are not allowed even to this day to just wander through there. It's considered Huichol land. And so he said, with this letter, I could go up into the mountains.
What happened? Then what happened in terms of your meeting with Don Jose?
Well, then I was walking, and on the third day of my journey I became completely lost and was suffering from dehydration and sun exposure. And I would like to say I faced my death like a spiritual warrior.
You were on your vision quest.
Right.
It was just accidental.
So instead of facing my death like a spiritual warrior, I was terrified, actually. And I went unconscious, and I was suddenly awakened by Indians standing over me, sprinkling water on my face and telling me why was I laying there like a drunkard. And they told me that the old shaman of their village had had a dream about me 2 days earlier, and they had been sent out to rescue me and take me back.
Isn't that incredible?
So that was my first time in the Huichol Sierra. So I was soon after taken to Don Jose, where he initiated me into the way of the shaman and put me through a 12-year apprenticeship.
Why did he do this so quickly? What did the dream reveal to him that made him adopt you in so quickly?
Well, he just said he had the dream, and I asked him, well, why me? And he would go, that was your good luck. And so my initiation was a few weeks later, and it was in the cave of Grandmother Growth, which is a very ancient cave of feminine power. And he put me in the cave for 5 days and 5 nights without food and without water. And he said, if you die, the apprenticeship is over. And that was how I began. And then I lived with him for many years, and he took me to many of the old pilgrimage sites, and he then trained me. And then when I finished my apprenticeship, we came up together to California, and we founded the Dance of the Deer Foundation, which is a center for shamanic studies.
And the Huichol Indians are preserving a pre-Columbian tradition, from what I understand.
They are the last tribe in Mexico, or actually in North America, to have their pre-Columbian tradition still intact. It's probably like it has been for hundreds and most likely thousands of years.
So tell me about that. Tell me what is dear to the shamanic way of the Huichol Indians, and what has been passed on to you and what you hold dear.
Well, they believe that it's our responsibility as a human being to be guardians of the earth, to nourish the earth with our prayers, with our ceremonies, with our good thoughts and our good actions in life. So that's what they really stressed throughout my whole apprenticeship. Don Jose always said, it's our job to pray for the earth, to make ceremonies for the earth, to to dance for the earth, and to just live in harmony with the earth, with our environment, to live in harmony with our communities, and most importantly with ourselves. People forget to treat themselves in a sacred way as well. So this is what I was taught, and this is what, as you said, what I hold dear to me as well.
Are there some other ancient practices that you were trained in and made privy to in this journey?
Yes.
Can you talk about some of that?
There were many. I was trained to lead ceremonies. For instance, for the 4 seasons, you make a ceremony at the solstice, at the spring equinox, which was just recently. We made a beautiful ceremony for the spring. So these are things that I do with people all over the world. We go on pilgrimages to places of power, and you go to empower the places. Like this weekend, I'll be going to the Pacific Ocean in Santa Cruz, California, and I'll take a big group there, and we'll make a pilgrimage there and pray for the ocean, to pray for the waters which run through our own bodies as well. Then I'll go to Crete, Greece, soon after that, and do the same thing there. And then I'll go to the Atlantic Ocean on the East Coast and do it there. So this is what I spend my whole life doing.
Do they have the powers of vision, the Huichols? I mean,
They
obviously,
do,
Don Jose
definitely.
did, or he
Yes.
wouldn't have taken you in so
Yeah.
quickly.
Their whole life is about vision.
Can you talk about some of the
Sure.
visions of the Huichols at this time?
Sure, well, their whole life is about vision. You see from the art here behind
Oh,
me.
it's incredible
These-
artwork.
Every piece is a vision. According to their religious or their spiritual law, you must have a vision before you can create the art. And so the vision is a way or a medium to bring the art alive. So that when you see a deer in the art, we say that is the deer.
Yes.
And so for the Huichols, their whole life is about vision, connecting with the ancient ones, we say. You might say in English, with the ancient ancestors or gods and goddesses of creation, with our ancestors like Mother Earth and Father Sun, Grandmother Eagle, Grandfather Fire. Like
And what
that.
are these ancestors saying for us? What are the messages that are coming through now
Well,
for humanity?
they're saying, they're very positive, even amidst all of the chaos that we might see. The Huichols are very positive. They say that now is a time of transformation, a time of change, where people will hold on to things that are important, spirituality and so forth. And this is the vision that we have had. And so during my own apprenticeship, I had to eat just fruit for 14 months. And that helped me to have vision. And then we go on vision quests where we go to caves or to different mountains, different sacred places, and we fast. And in that way, hopefully, you receive a vision.
So the visions are that we will actually go through this metamorphosis and transition. It's not doom and gloom. It's not
No,
catastrophic.
no.
It's truly
It
transformation
is.
time.
You said it perfectly. That's how the Huichols see it. They say it's definitely not doom and gloom. It's a time to celebrate life, to honor life, to honor all of creation. And when we do this, we'll bring about a positive transformation.
How does chocolate play into it? Because chocolate is grown in Mexico,
Yes.
and you have this incredible company, Shaman Chocolates, which is why we found you at this show,
That's
which you're
great.
one of the pearls we found here. How does chocolate play into all of
Well,
this?
chocolate, they've done a lot of studies now. A lot of studies have been done recently on chocolate, and they've shown that when a human being eats chocolate, the same chemicals are activated in our bodies, which are the same as when we are physically or emotionally in love with another human being. So the Huichols have known this for thousands of years, that when we eat chocolate, we feel more in love with our world and with our environment. So they use chocolate as a way to love Mother Earth.
Do
It's a
they-
beautiful image when you think about it.
So they eat it or drink it, or how do they
They
use the
drink
chocolate?
it, they eat it, but they also pray with the chocolate and will leave it there for Mother Earth as an offering, you might say, as a gift for the earth. So it's a way for a human being to learn to love Mother Earth, to love a mountain, to love God by by eating chocolate and by leaving chocolate too as a little offering, a little piece. And then they also will break a fast with the chocolate drink. So chocolate's sacred. So now I always tell people, now you can relax. It's your shamanic duty. Eat some chocolate.
And you are actually putting your love into chocolate to be able to support these indigenous ways and the people that you've become part of and have grown to love. And so how did you develop Shaman Chocolates, this beautiful organic chocolate line?
Well, as you know, I've been teaching for about 27 years. And I go around the world teaching shamanism and what I learned with Don Jose during my apprenticeship. And then it was about 6 years ago, I had a vision of starting this company, Shaman Chocolates. And the vision was that people were eating chocolate as a way to bring love into their life and as a way to be more loving, kind human beings to each other, to their families. And this sounds simplistic, but it's something that is needed at the moment. So I had this vision to start this company, and I was a little naive. I thought I would start it and everyone would just say, oh, this is wonderful, and we're going to save the Indians. And it's been a little, it's been a challenge to really get that out to people. But now
it's a competitive marketplace. There are tens of thousands of companies in these three halls alone competing with each other. And the thing that's interesting, the reason I was so curious about interviewing you is because chocolate is very present at this big Natural Products Expo. It's becoming popular again, and organics, and also the notion of doing sustainable business and also supporting indigenous people. But what you're doing is you're giving 100%, not 10%, but 100% of your profits
100%.
to supporting the 15,000 people left in the Huichol tribe. Is that true?
That's definitely true. Like you've met Marilyn, and you've met some of the people here. They work as a labor of love.
They volunteer.
They volunteer. They're unbelievable, actually, to help so well. And Marilyn has met some of the Huichols, and when I finished my apprenticeship, Don Jose came up with me a number of times to America, and he announced that he was leaving me in his place to help carry on the Huichol tradition. And so now I've started this company because I saw it as a way to help preserve the cultural and economic traditions of the Huichols, as a way to preserve their tradition. So we give 100% of our profits back to the tribe.
Don Jose,
not many profits now, but hopefully
as they increase, it's going to benefit them greatly. Don Jose lived to be 110 years old. So what was it? What was it about his life that allowed him to live, such an energetic life right up to his death?
Yeah, he lived until he was 108. He was totally strong and powerful. He grew corn. He was very proud of the fact that he grew the 5 colors of corn, which represent the 5 races of people. You had the blue corn, or black corn, white, red, yellow, and speckled corn, which is what
the blending of all.
The blending. And so he grew corn. He gathered firewood every day, and then he would give different reasons. One time he would say, oh, it's because I get up every day and take a cold bath in the river or in the spring. And he said it would be like healing the spirit, because water represents beauty for the Huichols. So it's a way to make ourselves beautiful just by going under a waterfall or going to the spring. So he said that would be one reason. Another reason he would say would be because he said, I've dedicated my whole life to the spiritual way of shamanism and of healing myself, healing my community, healing Mother Earth. And then other times he'd get a little twinkle in his eye, and then he would say, oh, it's because I didn't have a lot of sex, only once a day. And I met him when he was old. I don't know what he would say before he was. You don't have to put that on there.
Yes, sure we do. Why not?
But anyway, so these were different reasons why he said that he was able to live so long. Just that he dedicated his whole life to the shaman way.
What a magnificent, happy face he has.
Yeah, he was. He was so filled with life. And joy. And the Huichols really believe in laughter as medicine. As laughter is good medicine. Laughter heals the heart, heals the soul, we say. And we know that, if you go to a hospital or a nursing home and you make somebody smile, they feel better. And the Huichols are always laughing, teasing, they love to tease. And if you get mad, they like that even better. So you have to take it.
Well, what is your final, just to wrap it up here, what is your desire? What would you like to see happen with this whole movement you're doing to utilize chocolate to infuse love and also to infuse money back to the Huichols?
Well, what I would like to do is to have people have an awareness that there is a tribe like the Huichols who are struggling to maintain their cultural identity and to keep their traditions going. And so this is why we started the chocolate company, as a way just to preserve the culture so they do not have to go work in a field with pesticides or to go work in somewhere outside of the culture, so they can stay home and create their art and can keep the traditions going, keeps the families together, keeps the tribe together. And so this is important.
Well, their art is exquisite, and because we're talking to an online internet audience, can they order your chocolate online?
They can.
Oh, good.
ShamanChocolates.com.
Okay, good. We'll go ahead and get the word out and really wish you all the best. It's great work you're doing. Beautiful people, beautiful artwork, and lovely chocolate.
Thank you. We think it's some of the best chocolate in the world.
It is excellent and all organic.
Organic.
Yes.
And so it's good for the people, good for the earth. And, there are many organic companies, but we really feel like we are not only organic, but we're really helping to preserve a whole culture. And hopefully we can, and thanks to you as well. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Being a devotee of chocolate, I can vouch for the quality of Shaman Chocolates, aside from being all organic and having that luscious melting point on the tongue. It feels good to know that the proceeds are going to preserve something in danger of being lost forever. To purchase Shaman Chocolates, just click on the link below.